you ever wondered what would happen if you combined a traditional top-down Zelda-style adventure with the mechanics of a twin-stick shooter? Well, wonder no longer, as today we are reviewing Minishoot Adventures. But is this unlikely pairing a match made in heaven, or shall it be banished to the dark world for all of eternity? Let's find out in our full review. But on the topic of shooting, why not blast on over to patreon.com/idreamofindiegames, where you can gain Discord access to the greatest indie gaming community, early ad and sponsor-free shows, shoutouts at the end of every video we produce, and even free games depending on the tier you select. Your new indie gaming community is waiting for you. I hate to keep making the Zelda comparison, but it's simply unavoidable in Minishoot Adventures. That said, there's no Princess Zelda to rescue in this title. In fact, there really isn't all that much of a narrative to follow at all. Players begin by selecting between 3 difficulty options: Explorer, Original, and Advanced, which basically boil down to easy, normal, or hard. I opted for Original myself, which I felt was very well balanced and comfortable for my skill level. Adorable spacecrafts have been encased in crystal by evildoers referred to as the Corruption, which have now invaded the world of Minishoot Adventures. A mysterious voice calls out to you, beckoning that you save your trapped friends, retrieve lost powers, and restore a great crystal. That's pretty much all the narrative you'll get, and to be honest, it's all that's needed. After busting free, it won't take long to realize that Minishoot Adventures is truly something special. Plasma riddles the screen in a traditional bullet hell fashion, a robust open world is free to explore, rife with secrets to be discovered, and the snappy mechanics of your spacecraft marry the game's concepts beautifully. On paper, none of the elements of gameplay featured in Minishoot Adventures sound like they should cohesively fit together, and yet they do. The main objective is to take down 4 boss layers which have risen from the ground. These layers are scattered across the world and typically involve solving mini-dungeons and other little puzzles in order to gain access to them. It isn't always wise to rush from boss to boss, however, as not only would you be denying yourself much of the fun which is present in this title, but you'd be missing out on a great deal of power-ups and abilities. A central hub of sorts exists where many of the robots that you free across the campaign will gather to assist you. Not only is finding your robot allies satisfying, but they'll sell you upgrades via various currencies that can be earned. These range from a compass, which will help to guide you a bit better, a healer who restores your health, of course, and gun upgrades as well. On top of this, players will level up as they defeat enemies, earning crystals that can be used to upgrade attributes such as speed, strength, and even some of the abilities that you've earned. Everything is well presented, easy to understand, and it is beyond satisfying to grow more powerful and see the results of that in real time. As for the combat, it's a lovely dance of death through bullet hell madness. Blasting away with the right stick while gliding with the left feels phenomenal, with precise mechanics that put many shooters to shame. That's even more impressive given the fact that Minishoot Adventures is so much more than just a shooter. The well-designed overworld is brought further to life through its many caves full of treasure, mini-dungeons, all of which are worth exploring by the way, and thrilling boss encounters that will have you clenching your butt cheeks for dear life. Keeping things fresh is a good variety of enemy types, all of which spew out specific patterns that are both fun to learn and challenging to master. Whether you're finding keys to unlock new pathways, or discovering different areas and seeing how they seamlessly connect to the game world, Minishoot Adventures is addicting, thrilling, and engaging throughout. As far as visuals are concerned, the game features a nice clean look, but honestly is a bit unremarkable looking, which I fear could turn some players away, or perhaps even lead them to believe that this is just another little indie shooter. Don't get me wrong, it's a nice enough looking game that runs beautifully and can achieve very high frame rates, but it also doesn't do a ton to stand out in the visual department. Enemy ships are somewhat generic looking, and environments are pretty typical with your spooky section, deserts, all the usual stuff. But also, this game isn't so much about how it looks as it is about how it plays. Still, between the game's unremarkable name itself and the somewhat safe visual presentation, I wouldn't be shocked if a lot of gamers looked past Minishoot Adventures, and that's a shame. Thankfully, the soundtrack delivers. Players will enjoy awesome electronic compositions with catchy feel-good melodies. Bullets and explosions all sound satisfying, and I love the crunchy noise of blasting through rocks and discovering secrets. All told, while the visuals won't win awards, they serve the purpose and make it easy enough to identify the enemy fire, and the game sounds really great. As I mentioned, players can enjoy frame rates over even 120 FPS on the PC, which is nice, but it's worth noting that the game does have a bit of an initial load on startup each time. This is to ensure players don't experience loading times throughout their gameplay. On Steam Deck, I experienced a pretty solid 60 FPS, with the visuals not looking quite as vibrant as they did on my monitor. Despite the visual hit, however, the game is still very playable in portable mode. Minishoot Adventures is a phenomenal indie release. Great dungeon design, shooting mechanics, upgrades, and a rockin' soundtrack made this one of my favorite games that I've reviewed here at I Dream of Indie Games in a very long time. If you love twin-stick shooting and happen to be a fan of the classic top-down Zelda games like Link to the Past, you'll be in bullet heaven, not bullet hell here. I am awarding Minishoot Adventures the Golden Genie Lamp of Approval.